recording now.
Perfect. Hi guys, happy Friday. Everybody's getting in and getting settled. Welcome. So I am Kira from Plaid. If you are brand new to us, partnering with Michaels, they have been amazing, and it is an honor to be teaching these classes. So welcome everybody. And if you are oldie but a goodie and have been following us and watching along, welcome back. Hope everybody is doing well. We are going to craft some pumpkins today with Mod Podge. So I've got this beauty in front of me. It is a beautiful Mod Podge pumpkin, and I have so much stuff. I was just saying, you guys, I have like everything in the studio I just pulled into here to show you guys. So we're gonna do a lot of fun things, and John is in the other studio next door. So if you have questions or comments, let him know in the chat and he can relay them to me, and I will craft on demand at this point. I've just got a lot of fun things to show you guys, so I hope we inspire you. You can get all this product that we're using at michaels.com or in store at Michaels. So they've got a lot of great options, whether it's delivery or curbside pickup, or if you can get into a store right now. Lots of great ways to get the product, ask questions. We're gonna be doing a giveaway. So from your comments, John, I'm gonna let him have the hard job of picking a winner at the end live, and we will send you some Mod Podge and Plaid goodies. So yeah, we're gonna get started. Again, if you guys have questions, I will try to answer them and just show you and inspire you as much as possible. That's why we're here. So pumpkins, right? Like, it is the season. It is, you know, such a fun thing to decorate and do. And these fake pumpkins, we call them, plastic, styrofoam pumpkins, you can use real, but these are great because you can use them year to year and recycle them and upcycle them. So if you have something, you can go ahead and slap some paint on it. We're going to show you how to do that. They come in a variety of sizes and colors, so whatever you have will work. If you have questions about substitutions, let me know, absolutely. So we're gonna show you this guy real quick, and then we're gonna get into some more projects. This was kind of the one we highlighted this week. So this is a pumpkin, and you can buy really this white cream color, but you can also just start with a basic orange and paint it. And one of the paints that I love that we make to paint pumpkins with is the FolkArt home decor chalk. So this is just such a great, you guys know I have an issue with doing the mirrored image while I'm watching myself on the monitor, but this FolkArt home decor chalk is just such great coverage, especially on the pumpkins. It just gives it such a smooth finish. It's one coat. So it is great if you're gonna base coat any of your projects. We use it a lot of times even as a base coat under our specialty paints, but it's also great for these pumpkins. So we went ahead and we started with, you can see under here, look, this is terrible, but I love that I can show you this. This was just an orange pumpkin that we had, and we went ahead and we painted it with the FolkArt home decor chalk, and this is just a beautiful ivory color. This is sheepskin, but again, you can personalize it. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to paint some leaves. So these are just, you know, you can buy garland. And again, you guys, I have so much stuff in the studio, so it's gonna be a lot like walking around showing you here. So we have just some, you can buy this just as sprays or garland at Michaels. This is just the, you know, like the faux leaves. So we're actually, you can buy them in bags also, but this was just like a strip that we had here, like a piece of garland or spray. And we're gonna actually use Treasure Gold, and we're gonna paint these and use them in Mod Podge directly onto our pumpkin. So this is what it started as. I'll put him back. And I'm just gonna use some palette paper here to work on to try to keep my workspace clean since we're gonna be doing so much. And all we're gonna do is we are going to use our Treasure Gold, and we're gonna use you know, a couple different colors. So Treasure Gold is, and you guys are probably have heard me say this before if you've watched classes that we've done, but Treasure Gold is the most metallic paint out there. You can literally see a reflection in it. It's the most gold metallic paint. So again, gold, silver, copper, rose gold. We've got some beautiful jewel colors out there. But really what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and whether you're using gold or a jewel color to match your decor, we are going to go ahead and paint the leaves. And there's nothing we need to do to we don't need to prep these leaves. We're just, oh, I left my brushes over here. We're actually just going to go ahead and paint right on the leaves. So we're going to take our Treasure Gold, and you can pour some out right out on your palette. You can dip right in the bottle, but you can see how thick and beautiful that is. You can see how shiny that is. And we're going to paint right onto our leaves. And again, there's nothing you need to do. Like I was saying, prep the surface. You don't need to, you can just paint right onto these leaves.
So Kira, a couple people are asking if they could use real leaves from outside. What do you think?
Absolutely, you could. My only concern is that they're going to get crunchy and brittle once they completely dry out. So, you know, this is great because even though we're painting them, they're still flexible. If you use leaves, you just have to be prepared that they may crumble when they're completely dry. But we're going to seal them with Mod Podge, so it may work. If you want to use this outside though, once you're done completing your craft, like once you get all your leaves on and you're happy with your pumpkin, if you coat this in Mod Podge Ultra or Mod Podge Outdoor formula, it's going to protect it from the elements and you can put it outside as part of your like porch decor or in your yard, and it's going to be great. But yes, if you're just looking, you know, I would just hate that you do all this work and you're like, oh, they crumbled and they dried out, but the paint would absolutely work on there. And you would do the same process. So we're just going to paint our leaves. So I would get, and you don't need to do both sides, you're just getting them good and coated. So again, beautiful, and you could do a variety. We've done coppers and golds and rose golds. We've done these on mason jars. You can see here, we did this. This is a great, beautiful, we chalk painted. Again, this chalk paint, and we just did just a variety of jewel colors, the same technique, and put them on a mason jar. So you could do coordinating decor pieces. All right, so I painted that. I'm gonna set this aside. And then we have a pumpkin that we've gone ahead and painted. So we have chalk painted this guy, and we chalk painted the whole thing, and I'm gonna show you, you can treasure gold the stem. So chalk painted, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use, you can use a variety of Mod Podge formulas. So you could use Ultra, you could use Gloss, you could use Matte, Outdoor. Any of them will work as a glue and a sealer all in one to adhere right to your pumpkin. So I have a variety of leaves. So you can see we've gone ahead and pre-painted these, and we didn't paint the backs. These are just, we just painted the fronts, one coat. And again, this has such great coverage, you can do one coat. So we've got silver, we've got copper, we've got gold. You could even ombre them if you wanted to. Here's some more of the rose gold. So just beautiful shades, and I love to mix them. But again, you could paint them any color. If you wanted bright orange or you wanted black leaves, this would also be a beautiful thing to do. I just love treasure gold this time of year. And then what you're gonna do is, again, you can use Mod Podge. So I've got some gloss here. You could use Mod Podge Ultra, would work also. So let me tell you guys about Mod Podge Ultra. If you haven't used it, it is a all-in-one glue and sealer spray Mod Podge. So it comes in a spray pump. Spray in this cup here. So it is a pump spray, and it is Mod Podge, and it does everything that Mod Podge does times 10. So it is a all-in-one glue and sealer. It is multi-surface. It is indoor-outdoor, no brush strokes. It self-levels. It is non-tacky and non-yellowing. So you guys, this is like the ultimate Mod Podge. We have so many great specialties, and there's definitely, like, I love Mod Podge dishwasher. I love Mod Podge Outdoor, but Mod Podge Ultra is a great addition to the family to have as just a basic in your craft room, especially around the holidays and all your seasonal projects. So you could use Mod Podge Ultra, and you can also use our regular Mod Podge, so matte or gloss, depending, you know, what kind of look you're going for. I'm just gonna grab another piece of palette paper here. And I'm gonna pour some Mod Podge out. And again, so what we're gonna do is we've already gone ahead again and chalk painted this pumpkin. Again, you could have it, you know, match your decor, whatever color. We're using like an off-white ivory to match. And I'm gonna grab a brush. And then we are just going to start by Mod Podging our pumpkins right on. So Mod Podge is gonna come out of the bottle, whether it's regular Mod Podge, specialty, or ultra. It's gonna come out milky, but it's gonna dry completely crystal clear. So don't worry if you're slapping it on there and you're like, oh, this is gonna look bad like a regular glue or a hot glue. It's gonna dry completely clear. The only thing that you need to decide if you're gonna use a matte or gloss. So for chalk paint, you know, typically you would use a matte. You typically want it to match whatever surface. If you're using like a gloss or satin or high sheen, I would definitely use a gloss Mod Podge. And Mod Podge Ultra comes in a matte and a gloss formula at Michael's. And then what you're gonna do is you're just going to start placing your leaves. So again, and it's gonna take a minute, you wanna kind of let it adhere right to there. And this is gonna dry clear, and it's not going to dull or ruin the effect and look of the Treasure Gold. And then you're just going to start layering these right in. So it's gonna take a minute, and the leaves are, you know, a little crunchy. And again, that's why I would use the silk or the fake leaves instead of using outdoor leaves, because again, they may break and crack, and I would hate that. At least when you paint these, they're still, you know, soft and movable, and they bend around the round surface. So what you would do, and I'm not gonna let this dry, but what you would do is you would let that dry. And this is what you're going to get, the look and effect that you're going to get. So you are going to Mod Podge these all around. And again, if I was gonna put this outdoor or on my porch, I would use Mod Podge Ultra or Outdoor Formula, and this would protect it, and you can pop it right outside. And then again, all we did is right on the stem is we painted this with Treasure Gold. So great way to make over a pumpkin you have, or you just pick up a plain pumpkin and you can completely, this is a total upscale makeover that we've done. So that is a project that you can do with Mod Podge. And John, do we have any questions?
Well, we have a comment that Cricket has just texted her husband that he has to work more overtime so she can buy more craft supplies.
I love it.
So, not good if you're married to Cricket, I guess, and you're having to support her crafting habit. But a lot of people have been saying that they have actually use these classes to for sometimes their first time crafting, or they've all run out to get the stuff for these various classes. So everyone's super excited. There was one question. The pumpkin you just did was more textured versus the smooth one. Was there?
Yeah, it was just the way
itself?
the pumpkin is. Yeah, it was actually the pumpkin, but any, you know, smooth or rough, it will absolutely totally work.
Yeah.
Yep, it was just the type of pumpkin. It had some like grit and texture. It looked more realistic when we painted it. That's a great question. But the chalk paint, that's why I love that also to use to paint on the pumpkins, because it works on so many different surfaces, whether it's smooth or rough.
Yeah, and a couple people, just so you know, we do recognize that there can be some challenges if you go to your local store and they're out of the supplies. A couple things I would suggest. One would be go to michaels.com, because they oftentimes will have ones that your local store does not. And also just please know that we are shipping, like we literally work 24/7 at our plant. We have full-time, never stop production. And we are trying our best to get Michaels back in stock as fast as you all can buy it. We're trying to make it, which is not easy, because during this particular time, the demand for paint has been unbelievable. So we are making paint right here at our plant in Georgia, and we are working as fast as we can. So please, thank you for being patient with us, and check online sources as well as your store, okay?
Yeah, and again, if we're inspiring you, we understand. And again, alternatives, like let us know, and we can try to maybe like come up with a solution, or say like, oh, use this instead. Or the reason I love these classes too is just like, hey, we want to inspire you. And I think being creative right now is so important, John, like, and everybody out there, like it is just something that people need. So whether you're using the exact Treasure Gold that we have, like we want you to use our product, right? Like that's my job here. But we just love to inspire you guys, and appreciate Michaels for letting us connect with you and be a part of your lives. So, and we have people at the plant working endless hours. So yeah, it's, you know, thankful that it is such a necessity and a need for people right now to crave creativity. And Cricket, tell your husband you are saving money by making and not buying things. Like, that's my story that I'm going to stick to.
There you go.
Right? It's DIY, so it's cheaper. So, okay. So another fun thing that we can do is, I'm going to show you, we poured some pumpkins earlier this week. Paint pouring is huge, and I actually poured this guy. He still has his tacks in him because his bottom's a little wet. So we poured him with our pouring paint on Wednesday. So I'm going to show you how to turn a pumpkin into a geode. So we've got a couple pumpkins here that we have poured. Some fun things here. You know, we've done a couple different versions. And I'm going to show you how to make rock salt, how you can add it to your pumpkin and turn it into a pumpkin geode. So you're going to need, we're using rock salt. So this is just Morton's rock salt we got at the grocery store. You get it online. So this is the one thing that Michael's does not carry. So everything else they have, but this is rock salt. We're going to use some plastic cups and some glitter of choice. So I like to match it for my pumpkin. And what we're going to do is we're going to use Podge Gloss, and we are going to find my spoon. Okay, so we're going to do 5 spoonfuls of Podge rock, or of rock salt. So 5 spoonfuls. And you guys, I can't count the clock clearly. Okay, so that's 5.
That's 5.
That's 5. And then we're gonna do 2 spoonfuls of Podge Gloss. So you definitely wanna use gloss. So 2 spoonfuls of gloss. Okay. And then we're going to do a spoonful of glitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab, we have this beautiful, I'm gonna use this, it's like a coppery brown glitter. And I'm just gonna use the same spoon, and we're gonna do a spoonful of glitter.
Whoa.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is you are going to mix, and you wanna make sure all your glitter is stirred and all your rock salt is completely coated. So it's gonna look like this giant white blob, but remember, Mod Podge is always going to dry clear. And what you're going to get, I guess I should have showed you guys, what you're going to get is we are creating these rock salt crystals. So you guys, this is literally rock salt, glitter, and Mod Podge. Amazing. So this is what you're going to create out of this. So what you do, and we have some kind of in process here, and it's a pretty blue color, so you can actually see it really well. So again, I have so many things on the table here to show you guys. So this rock salt we made using Podge Gloss, rock salt, and glitter. And what you do is you then spread it out. So again, it's gonna look really kind of like milky, but it is going to dry, and that gloss and glitter is going to dry super crystal clear and sparkly. And you basically, this is just parchment paper. It'll work on a silicone mat or palette paper, anything that's non-stick. And you're going to spread it out, and you can do large pieces or small pieces, because once it's dry, you can break it up into smaller, manageable pieces. And you're going to let it dry for about 24 hours. And you can see here, off here, I've got some baby wipes. What you can see is that it turns into, and I just folded that over, rock salt. So you are getting crystals, and see how you can really like bend it and move it around. So it is beautiful. So that is in process. And then again, what you end up with are these awesome pieces, and we're going to use them to create geodes. So we've done this, you know, back in summer and fall, we did this on canvases. We made these beautiful poured canvases of geodes. So, but you can do the same technique with a pumpkin, and I love this idea. So what I would do is I would take my pumpkin, and all you're going to do, and again, I would match my colors, and you could use Mod Podge or a hot glue gun. I'm going to use a hot glue gun just for time, because Mod Podge is going to take a while to dry. And all you would do, and I just have a glue gun plugged in here, is you're going to pour your pumpkin to make it look like a geode. he isn't on. How about that, you guys? All right, give him a second. So what we're gonna do is we're going to actually glue these onto the pumpkin, and we're going to make it look like a geode pumpkin is like opened up, basically. So similar to a normal geode that would look like it had all these beautiful crystals. You could actually go ahead and do it exactly on your pumpkin. So I'm gonna let that just heat up for 2 seconds, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing. So again, it's rock salt, so 5 parts rock salt, 2 spoonfuls of Mod Podge, and a spoonful of glitter. And I am just using a regular spoon. This isn't like super perfect measurement, just using a disposable plastic spoon. And all you do is you do your 5 spoonfuls of rock salt, your Mod Podge gloss, you want to make sure that it is gloss, and then your glitter, and you're going to end up with this, which is going to dry depending what color and turn into these beautiful crystals that you can use to embellish and make jewelry and do so many amazing things with. Any questions, John?
So yeah, a couple people were saying, oh yeah, so once they dry, it is a little bit flexible, right? Still, you can bend.
It is flexible, so you can bend it. So once they dry, they get pretty, when you snap them, like once they're dry, they're gonna snap apart. So you can make, if you have like a large piece, you can snap into smaller piece. When this one we did yesterday, so he isn't 100% dry, so he's more pliable, and you can really like form and bend him around round shapes. But if you break them apart, you can really take these small pieces and glue them on.
Right. And people were asking, the paint, the rock salt was not painted at all. It was just the glitter, Mod Podge,
It is
and
just glitter. So all you do, it is, and I'll do another mixture real quick. So 5 spoonfuls of rock salt. And you could double this if you wanted to make a bigger, batch of it. You want to do 2 spoonfuls. I'm not a great baker, you guys, so spoonfuls. 2 spoonfuls of Mod Podge gloss. And again, we're using the gloss because you really want that shine. And then a spoonful of glitter. So I've got some beautiful red here we can use. And again, I'm just using the same spoon, so just a heaping spoonful of glitter. And then you just, really the important part is, if you can see, you really just want to make sure all your rock salt is coated in the Mod Podge and the glitter. So you really just want to give it a really, really good stir. And it's not going to look like much. You're like, I'm going to slop that on my project. But I promise you, once it dries, it's going to be beautiful. This is literally what you get. And if you wanted to, it's harder on a round surface like a pumpkin, but if you have a flat surface, if you put this down, say you're doing a canvas, and we've showed this before, if you put this down, because we're using Mod Podge and it's glue and sealer, it will actually adhere to your surface. So if you put this rock salt crystal on a surface that isn't non-stick, like parchment or silicone that we've been using, it's going to actually adhere to the surface. So you could literally put this on top of your pumpkin. So what you could do is you could take your pumpkin and you could scoop this right on top here and let it dry. And it's gonna kind of make it look like the crystals and the geodes are coming out of the stem. So another great effect that you can do. And once this dries, it's gonna be beautiful and shiny and red and orange. And it's gonna look like there's just crystals, flowing out of the pumpkin. And then you could paint the stem in treasure gold, would be so awesome. So that's another thing you can do. All right, I think my glue gun is hot. So a couple ways that you can totally use the same idea. Again, we just want to inspire you guys. I love all these ideas. So I have this gold and green poured pumpkin. And again, we used our FolkArt pouring medium, and we poured him to give him this beautiful effect. Then I'm going to use, I think my glue gun is hot. I am just going to go right onto my pumpkin, and it's really great to get kind of like down in the lines and the seams of the pumpkin. I don't know if seams the technical term, but right in like the crevices of the pumpkin, and just start adding your gems or your rock salt crystals. And you can kind of make it look like they are pouring out. Again, you can go directly with your rock salt, but if you wanted to pre-make your rock salt and let it dry so you have a big batch, you could absolutely do that. And again, this breaks off, so you could do little pieces, big pieces, but it's gonna look like a geode, like it's forming out of the pumpkin, which I love this look. And geodes are still so hot, so trendy right now. And again, you can personalize it to any color just by changing up whatever paint you have, whatever color pumpkin. And then again, it's just ultra fine glitter that we're using to create this rock salt. And again, you can just snap this off and kind of piece it together. So it would be beautiful if you did the whole side of the pumpkin and just kind of then, you know, if you want to stage it or do it on a little ledge, you could kind of have the rock salt pouring out, which would be a beautiful kind of way to do it. So it would be really pretty also if you did it on a charger, and then you could just let kind of the rock salt pour out of the pumpkin so it looked like it was coming out of the inside of the pumpkin. Would be a beautiful effect. Okay, so that is something. John, any questions?
Well, people are loving this idea with the rock salt for sure. People were asking for other ideas that you could do for it, different things you can put them on. I know that over the past however many weeks we've been doing this, you guys have done a bunch of rock salt projects, added it to pours on canvases.
Absolutely. To canvases, to pours, you can make jewelry out of it. So anything really, it's just a great addition. I wish I had this guy dry for you, but again, once he dries, he is just going to be shiny and beautiful. Like there are just crystals coming out of him. And again, I would just paint his stem with treasure gold and he's going to be beautiful when he's done.
I think if you go back in the Michael's classroom, because they have all the past classes listed, you can go back and check for some of the geode classes that we had there, because I know you've done some before.
Yes. So you guys, another great thing about Michael's is that all these classes are available on their community classroom page after the fact. So you can always go back and watch their entire library. You can watch this video if you're just getting inspired and you're like, how do you make that rock salt? Absolutely go back, watch our geo pouring class. You can watch this and get all this inspiration at your fingertips when you're ready to craft, and you can get even the product that you're looking for. So that's a great thing to call out, John, that they're always available.
Yep. And then also check out Plaid Crafts, Facebook page and YouTube channel, because we just have, our YouTube channel has literally hundreds of videos of different classes and things that you can look at. You can look at the video section of our Facebook page where we go live all the time. And there's just hundreds and hundreds of ideas that you can find if you just look around.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so another fun thing that you can do with Mod Podge, and this is not as traditional as a pumpkin, but we're going to use these wood rounds, and I love these. Again, we poured on these, but something else you can do with Mod Podge. So I love that you can stand these up. This is just a wood round that Michael sells, or lean them. But this is a great surface. So it's just a wood slice. So literally the bark is on there and it's got this beautiful wood grain, which I love the natural wood. And then all we've done is we've gone ahead and got some scrapbook paper. And we've just got a variety. This is Recollections. There's tons of different pads, or you can just pick your color palette, but just some coordinating beautiful orange scrapbook paper. And so we've got our scrapbook paper. We've got, again, you guys have so much stuff on this table. I gotta find what I'm looking for here. I have a wine cork. So this is just a wine cork that is from my house. But you could also, Michael's, I know they sell, bags of wine corks that you can use. So you could either DIY this wine cork, or you can go ahead and purchase them. I've got another fall spray here. So we're gonna use these things and we're gonna turn him into a pumpkin. So we're gonna use Mod Podge again, and actually we're gonna use Mod Podge Ultra. So all you need to do is trace your wood surface, your wood slice onto your scrapbook paper. So I've gone ahead and pre-cut these, and really loosely just follow the shape of your surface. And I'm just kind of doing like a very abstract, let's see if I can get these to line up. I cut them a very specific position earlier today. So let's see if I can get him on here. So what you're going to do is you're going to, you want to make it look like it's color blocked almost. So it looks like you cut these intentionally so it doesn't cover up the, here we go. It doesn't cover up the entire surface because I love the look of that natural wood. And all we're going to do is we're going to Mod Podge these down. So I'm using the Mod Podge Ultra. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to spray directly on my surface. I'm going to press him down. And then I'm going to spray him. And you know what? It's going to take a minute because this wood is so porous. It's going to, it's going to take a minute to soak in and dry. And Mod Podge Ultra is a little bit different. If you're using like a hot glue or like a tacky glue, it's going to stick instantly. Mod Podge, you have to really let it dry. So I would spray this flat and then let it dry. And this is going to dry clear. So see how it's darkened the wood? That's going to dry completely clear and it's going to lighten up when you're done. And then I'm going to place my shapes. And again, we've kind of pre-cut these to where they want to go, but you can create any kind of abstract pattern, and I promise this is going to work. It just needs to dry. I would spray this down. Spray on top, and you're going to saturate it. It's not going to ruin your paper. It's going to self-level. There are not going to be bubbles. It's going to kind of smooth it out. And again, let this dry and it's going to stick. It's hard because it's moving. But also what's great about this is sometimes when you're using a glue, you get one chance, right? And you're like, oh, I don't want it there. This is so great because you can move it around as you craft. Like if you're like, I don't really like that there, I'm going to move it around. You could absolutely move this around. So you can, and again, we cut this perfectly to fit, so it's not going to fit now. So you can move that around as needed. Right? And we're just doing, to make it look like it's color blocked. So you could do this with paint, but sometimes it's fun to do with Mod Podge and really make it look like it's color blocked and just very abstract. And when you're done and it's dry, you can go ahead and trim if there's any excess that hangs off of the bark. I'm going to spray him down and just let this again dry for 24 hours, like overnight, and he's going to be completely dry. So it's kind of abstract. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wine cork and you can paint him with treasure gold, or you could glue him right on if you kind of wanted that rustic look. I'm going to use my hot glue gun. I'm going to glue him right on. Just let him dry. John, are there any questions?
No, I don't think so. Can you show us the Mod Podge Ultra bottle one more time? Someone was wanting to see that.
So Mod Podge Ultra, it comes in a matte and a gloss. It is a spray. So it's a glue sealer all-in-one, self-leveling, indoor, outdoor. It is an amazing addition to the Mod Podge formula family. And it comes in a 4-ounce and an 8-ounce, but of course you want the 8-ounce.
And yeah, and people are asking, you could use the regular Mod Podge also. You could brush on Mod Podge, lay your paper, and then brush again.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just want to show you guys the spray because it's super easy and convenient. So I would just attach my wine cork, and then what you could do is you could even use some of your treasure gold leaves that you've done, and you could glue them on. You guys, nothing is working today. My glue won't dry. So I'm just going to hold this. So anyway, what I would do is I would hold these right on and let them dry. And again, you could use Mod Podge for this. I'm just using a glue gun just because for sake of time, I want you guys to see him. Usually glue guns dry so super fast.
That guy's being stubborn today.
I know. What is it? It's Friday. It's tired. But again, Mod Podge, take the time. Love it. I am just want to show you guys. So what you could do is you could do a whole set of these and you can hang them or you can lean them up against. Again, I would let this dry, but it's just like a great fun way. So you could stencil it, you could paint it, but just a fun thing. And this is really wet. You can see the Mod Podge, but just a fun way to do a pumpkin with wood slices. So you could do mini versions, you could do big versions, you could paint him with treasure gold. You could even tip the bark with the treasure gold would be beautiful. Yeah, somebody said put them on your mantle, love it. So this is a great thing to do also. And all you'd have to do is once this dries, kind of trim your paper, but just a beautiful way you can coordinate all these papers. So I'm gonna move him. And then also, I'm gonna show you guys just a couple more things. Does anybody have questions?
I don't think so. Someone was just suggesting you could add name or initials with that.
Absolutely. You could totally personalize this, you know, with a stencil. So you could do a monogram, you could say fall, you could do a ton of things, especially for Thanksgiving coming up, Halloween. There's so many different things. And you could change your paper out also. So you could do more of like a traditional like black and orange and do, you know, totally Halloween, or you could do more of the fall version. So
Yep.
Either way would work. Okay, so one more thing I want to show you guys. I'm just going to grab these off of here since we have time. I wasn't sure how long everything would take. So I showed you guys, if you joined on Wednesday, after you pour, you have paint skins, right? So paint skins are made from your leftover pouring paint. So again, we talked about how you can pour pumpkins, you can pour canvases. We make a ton of great product. This is an example of a poured pumpkin. I showed you the geode pumpkin. This guy is a beauty. He's one of our favorites here of ways you can pour and get this look. But when you have all that leftover paint, you have paint skins. And so this is literally a sheet of paint that is dried, that is dripped off of your whatever you've poured. And you can cut them out and trace them. You can use stencils or a pattern. And we've gone ahead and we've cut some leaves out. My workspace is really dirty here. And what you can do is you can Mod Podge them right onto a pumpkin. So again, you can buy a black pumpkin. We've gone ahead and we just painted this guy from orange to black. And then what we're going to do is we are going to Mod Podge. I'm just going to grab some regular Mod Podge. Again, Ultra is amazing and would work great. But I'm going to Mod Podge these right onto this pumpkin and show you what a great effect you can get. And again, this is a way you can personalize, do an initial, do a monogram. You could do your house number. But all you need to do is push these on here. And then you've got this beautiful poured effect. And the Mod Podge, again, is going to dry clear, remember. So whatever finish you're choosing for your pumpkin, I would match your Mod Podge to. So if you have a matte finish, use matte Mod Podge. If you have a gloss, I would use gloss. So it looks very seamless when you put these down. And then, I hate to cover this up because it's not going to dry, but so you would just brush on top to seal it. And again, outdoor is great. So you could put this right outside. Again, your house number, you know, if you want to put your address on it, set it outside is a really cute idea. These make great gifts. You know, a lot of people are doing virtual craft parties. So this is really something fun that you could do with all your friends, like get your girlfriends together and, you know, craft virtually together if you can't get together in person right now. But this is a great way that you can personalize your pumpkins. So again, all we did was we used our leftover paint from our paint pour. We cut out shapes and patterns and you can Mod Podge them directly onto your pumpkin. And again, because it is my favorite thing, I would just paint the tip of the pumpkin in treasure gold. So again, it just adds just like a little element of pop, like a pop. I love it. It just makes it feel more special and more festive. And I love the black pumpkins also. So if you don't have black pumpkins, grab your FolkArt paint. So any of our acrylic paints will work great. FolkArt, you know, our regular acrylic, our multi-surface, our outdoor, and also our chalk paint is amazing, especially for these pumpkins. So that's what I have. We're getting close to time. John, are there any questions?
No, I don't think so. I mean, a ton of comments. Everyone is loving these ideas and people are inspired to go try a lot of this stuff. So,
good, I'm glad. Thank you guys for spending your Friday afternoon with us.
Yeah, for sure.
John, do you want to pick a winner?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll tell you what. Since I want the real winner to be Cricket's husband, I'm going to go ahead and pick Cricket, so that she can get some craft supplies from us and her poor husband doesn't have to work overtime. How does that sound?
Well, congratulations, Cricket.
So,
you guys, thank you. It looks like my table, like a craft room exploded on my table right now.
okay, so Cricket, you just need to direct message us on our Facebook page. So go to Plaid Crafts on Facebook, send us a note that says, hey, it's me, I won. And, you know, that way we can arrange, get you your address and everything and arrange to get that to you, okay?
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope we inspired you. I hope you've got lots of good ideas and you can craft this weekend and get in the mood for fall wherever you are. We will be back next weekend or next week. Jessie is going to be teaching Let's Paint Live with Michael. So she will be here Monday night. We'll be teaching Wednesday and Friday. We've got a lot of great ideas. Again, thank you so much. Get your products at Michael's. Thank you, Michael's. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.